Without Komen, I wouldn't be here. We're very, very proud of the North Texas affiliate for the 20 years of commitment and the great opportunity to work with everyone in North Texas to make this happen.
Hi, I'm Sammy Thomas. I'm a 26-year breast cancer survivor, and I was one of the first race chairs for Race for the Cure in 1991. I was 33 years old when I found out I had breast cancer. My children were 5 and 8, and not knowing anything about breast cancer, we were truly concerned about my health and my well-being, and if I was even going to live. Back in 1983, you didn't say the word breast, and therefore there was not very much information out there about breast cancer. I had a mastectomy, I had chemotherapy, and I have been clean and clear ever since. Well, when I first was introduced to the Komen Foundation, Nancy Brinker had just started the first get-together out here at the Willow Bend Polo Club. So that was my first knowledge of the Komen Foundation, but it, in the last 20 years, has been a huge, huge part of my life. I got to go to the affiliate meeting a couple of weeks ago and heard Nancy Brinker speak one more time. And of course, she is so encouraging, and you just know that if anybody can find a cure, or at least have the ability to raise the funds to find a cure for the foundation, Nancy Brinker will be doing it.
The participation is just tremendous, and it's grown and grown every year, and we really appreciate all the support that we have from our friends, from our families, from the community for this cause.
Komen Foundation has been behind me all that time, and I surely appreciate everything they do because of them I have new drugs to take that's put me back in remission again.
I'm a 26-year survivor of one kind of cancer on one breast and a 14-year survivor of the second on the other breast.
I didn't know that men had breast cancer. It's not unusual to find doctors who have never seen a male breast cancer victim.
I think Komen is totally amazing because of the accomplishments in awareness, in getting the whole world aware of breast cancer. And I was able to, in the early days of the race in Dallas, I wrote a personal column for the Dallas Morning News about getting up early in the morning and why would any idiot want to get up that early and put on a silly pink cap and go out in the cold and walk. And it helped a lot of people understand why we were doing it, and look how that race has grown.
I'm Benny Jawanda, and I have been surviving for the last 10 years, and I'm doing great right now. I feel great, and I feel so healthy and a different person. Breast cancer was kind of a blessing in disguise because it made me a different person. I'm a much braver person. The support that they have given me, the encouragement that they have given me, I was not involved in it before, but after having breast cancer, I had this feeling that I have to go out and reach to people.
Hi, I'm Peggy Randlett, and I'm a 16-year survivor. You know, I think it was harder, what was harder for me, I had a very positive attitude, and I think that's really important, and that's just kind of my natural humor. I dealt with a lot of humor. I think actually harder than dealing with the cancer was trying to make the people that cared about me feel better about it. It was really hard on them. I just felt like, you know, we found it, we got it, we're taking care of it, and there was nothing more to worry about. Actually, I found my plastic surgeon through a Komen race. Just got to talking to somebody, and they said, well, you've got one of the best reconstruction surgeons right here in Dallas. So they, you know, helped me find my my plastic surgeon, and then the support. You know, it's just awesome support, and you know, being around for 16 years, the way this organization has grown from when, you know, I was diagnosed is just unbelievable.
My name is Helen Liu. I'm a 9-year survivor of breast cancer. I had 2 lumpectomies and 33 treatment of radiation. I went to Race for the Cure the first time, and I was so touched, and I had my tears in my eyes because everybody was so supportive, and we fought the battle, and everyone was so encouraging. I think Komen raised the awareness of breast cancer, and they have been very supportive to all women, and so it's giving us the strength to fight for the cancer. In September, I will be 10 years free from breast cancer.
And I realized at the time, once she started the Komen race in Dallas, I became a participant and started going to the Komen race every year. I found it to be one of the most fulfilling events that women could do. And Nancy and I were friends, and one day I said, you know, we've got this growing, booming population to the north. Don't you think it might be a good idea if we started another chapter? And she said, sounds like a great idea. So that's how it all started. Every single time I was there, it was inspirational. Every time I saw the women, I saw the camaraderie, I saw the coming together of women for a common goal and a common cause. And it wasn't just the money that we were raising, because the money, of course, was essential at that time, but it was the camaraderie. And I think it brings women together like nothing else really does. And especially over the last 20 years, or even the last 30 years, since breast cancer has become so prevalent and has become such a major focus for women throughout this country, we tend to say to ourselves, how can I help? What can I do? You know, I'm just one person. But that one person makes a difference when you start putting them together. And the money that's raised, I think people don't even realize what the money that's raised is being used for. I mean, the efforts in education are wonderful, but the scientific research that takes place is just amazing. I think the other thing that is so important is that there are so many women out there that are not fortunate enough to be able to afford so many of those types of tests that need to be taken for breast cancer, and that we can go forward. And as a senator, I find that every day we find women's issues where poverty-stricken women do not have access to that kind of medical treatment. And we worked really, really hard with the Komen Foundation over the years, not only in the state of Texas, but all over the country, to make sure that insurance policies covered and that those in poverty could be covered for whatever needs that they might have. And so we've enacted laws, in my view, all over the country, specifically because of the Susan G. Komen Foundation and the awareness and the education that it's brought to every community.
You know, 20 years ago, Susan G. Komen was just beginning to reach its largest growth spurt. And then over the next 15 years or 20 years, with double-digit growth, not just in revenues, but in growing these affiliates and our reach into the grassroots, began a real explosion of our grant giving, both on the community side and on the research side. And as a result, we not only have managed to lead the movement today, for example, when we began Susan G. Komen, early stage breast cancer, that is before it had spread from the side of the breast, the 5-year survival rate was 74%. Today that number is 98%. And that happened because largely there was a grassroots movement becoming into place, democratizing the response to a disease. And at the same time, funding and beginning the careers of breast cancer clinical and basic and translational scientists all over the world. So the explosion of knowledge and the explosion of the democratization of the disease has all added to making a very powerful organization. I'm very proud of the entire effort that has been made in North Texas. You know, it's a fertile ground, people with very fertile imaginations. Again, look at the wonderful universities, research institutions, projects, the volunteers, with a spirit that is unique to Texas. And it is thrilling to see this affiliate fund the kind of projects that they're funding. The level of support is truly meaningful and is a model for the rest of our affiliate community about how you start on the ground, sustain an organization, keep it going, keep the interest high, you know, and run a responsible nonprofit with great outcomes and great margins, and you're going to be hearing a lot more of that as we go along. Affiliates such as North Texas are going to be responsible for helping us really communicate the outcomes of all this work we've done. So we're very grateful to our North Texas affiliate for the fine work done, the model work done over all these years.
Surviving yesterday,
Fighting today for a hopeful tomorrow.
I hope for tomorrow.